basic needs first, and then relax and be happy with what you did. And if something seems exciting to do in the middle or at the end of the day, then we can do that. But if not, definitely getting back on my circadian rhythm is important. It's kind of like acting. Like, I know that with certain actors, they say to like accomplish a certain scene or a role or an emotion, there needs to be a reason and like a why behind it. And I always say that your why is important. And that's why sometimes, you know, especially growing up in a traumatic environment, I kind of got angry a lot. Like, I was just always so upset and angry because I wasn't loved very well. And I just wanted to like prove that I was worthy and that I deserved to be loved by like doing what no one said I could do for myself. And I think that as much as like, you know, that could definitely become toxic, I think that definitely being able to use a strong emotion like that to accomplish something that you deserve and to love yourself, I think that it's okay. Some may disagree with me, but I think using your weaknesses and the things that make you angry and things that just kind of hurt throughout your life, I think using some of those just emotions and memories to snap yourself out of something that is draining and hard for you just so you can go and give it your all, I think that that is okay. And I definitely do that. That is something that I've used as a tool. Maybe one day I'll learn that that's not the way. I've tried to avoid it because I thought it was unhealthy, and I thought I should be able to do things in a relaxed state of mind, and I certainly can do things in a very relaxed state of mind and with ease. But definitely, like I said, the spring and summer, I don't really have a hard time getting things done, and I feel like I'm really embodied into my lightness, you know. But yeah, during this time, I definitely start to feel a lot more of the negative aspects of my mind and my life. And like, I think, you know, fully just embodying that energy and not using it to be harmful towards yourself or other people, but just alchemizing it into something good. You know, I don't hide from those feelings anymore. I used to be like, no, I don't want to get angry. I don't need to be doing this out of angry emotions or whatever. But I think that I've been hiding from my negative emotions because in my life, I feel like there's been some situations over the years where I was in situations where my negative emotions scared other people, and I did hurt people's feelings so much that I became so scared of myself. I just wanted to be my best self. I wanted to be perfect. I didn't want to release negative emotions. I didn't want to project on anyone. So I became super introspective to the point where I was actually kind of taking a lot of blame for a lot of things because I just wanted to avoid unleashing my emotions, because my emotions are strong. But those strong emotions are the reason why I am so powerful and like I am where I'm at, because everything that I've been through and like the reason I became who I am and I'm here and I have like the ambition and the goals I have is literally because of my motivation and like my emotions. My emotions guide me and they helped me to create and empower. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We literally did a vlog yesterday and it was like literally get everything done that I need to get done at all costs. And we got a lot done. And I am trying to pull myself out of a starting to spiral depression. And I think that is something that we need to talk about, and I think that I need to build momentum and kind of just sometimes it's nice to have some support through while you're like walking yourself through and out of that spiral. And I think that it's not the worst thing in the world that if I I need to vlog while I pull myself out of this spiral. I really don't think it's such a bad idea. And then anyone else who's pulling themselves out of a spiral can also come along and maybe like take something out of what I'm doing. I don't know, but I definitely am feeling really low. All I want to do is sleep. Today I worked really late. We're going to try to take care of as much things for ourselves as possible and make it fun for ourselves, and let's go. I'm making toast right now. Honestly, I'm kind of working through some like really heavy depression to the point where like it's really hard for me to move my body right now. And when I talk myself through it and talk to other people, it usually helps me a lot. So, I was doing a bit of research, and pretty much with depression, it causes you not to be able to move and can create a mental paralysis as well as physical, and it's called psychomotor retardation. It's the actual medical term for it. Me, it's been hard because like I kind of like sit there and I feel like I can't move pretty much until I have some sort of like kind of emotion that's strong enough to pull me out of it. When I do get up, I literally cannot, once I do get up, I literally cannot sit still or it'll happen again. So this is why I will sit here and try to pretty much launch myself, trigger something to get up. The best thing that helps me is to have a plan. So my plan right now is I need to get up and put my dogs outside on their leashes. That's important because they need to go out. I'm drinking coffee right now because I think that I don't have as much of this problem during the summer as I do during the fall and winter. I love fall though. I think part of it is also that my heat is still broken, and like I said, it just makes me not want to move because I can feel how cold my body is even with wearing a hoodie and pants and everything. I'm just like going over the facts. I'm not complaining or pity party, nothing. I'm just kind of walking through it because this is like very real for me. This has always been very real. And in other videos, we will be getting into what has caused this in my life and where these kinds of things come from and what I've learned and how to combat it. But like, so pretty much I come up with a plan. When I have a plan and I don't need to overthink and I just know what I need to do next and next and next, it usually helps me to stay focused. I usually sit and eat and drink my coffee. I have had a problem with being on my phone lately. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, I'll try to be intentional about what I do on my phone and make it something that's helping me. I'll look up certain things. I'll watch certain videos. I try not to just watch anything. It does happen sometimes, and I think that doesn't help. Once you get that window to get up and you have enough energy just to get up, like, and do something small, I just try not to lose that for the rest of the day. Because I know with depression, you're going to be in pain either way. It's going to be painful because when I sit and I do nothing and I am stuck, it hurts. Especially if it's not what I would like to be doing. So I try to, it's like if it's gonna hurt, I might as well be doing things that are fulfilling for me. Especially with depression, you get more than enough rest. I definitely get more than enough rest. The quality of the rest, I don't know. I might not be getting quality rest, but yeah, I definitely don't need to sleep, and that's what your body wants you to do. I just want you to keep going back to bed and not doing anything. So instead, I'm going to drink this coffee, and I usually don't drink coffee because, you know, I am very big on like, when I'm going through a lot of mental healing, I tend to not drink things that are substances that have to, like, that alter my chemical state. But if you struggle with depression, they even say caffeine in small doses or appropriate doses can be medicine for people with depression that have a hard time jump-starting, moving. So, especially during the colder months, I think I do shift with the seasons. Like spring and summer is very easy for me to get up. During the fall and winter, I definitely drink more coffee and try to use that as an aid for myself. So, yeah. Next, I'm going to take my top priorities and such as, I just can't get these out of my head. Laundry, gym, and library. I need to print stuff. I need to go to the library to do that. I need to go do my laundry. And I would like, while I do my laundry, I usually go to the gym. And there's other things I can do that have to do with my car in between. And I also need to go to the grocery store, which is something I can easily do on my way back. So I can get dog food and a couple other things. That is a lot, but honestly, library and then go to do my laundry and the gym's right next door. It's, you know, it's a very clear plan. So I sometimes with depression and anxiety, I definitely have both, and it's definitely very contradicting because anxiety makes you feel like sensory overload, and like you can't just pick something. Like you're stressed about so many things, you don't know what to do, and in result you end up freezing and doing nothing. And that doesn't help because I'm already frozen from feeling depressed. I have depression mixed with anxiety. I can't help it. It's like I get anxiety about my depression because I know my depression is holding me back from certain things. So it just turns into like a whirlwind of my anxiety will exhaust me and help my depression. I will like have overwhelming thoughts and, you know, feel like there's not enough time and I have to do all this stuff. But at the same time, I feel like I have no energy and my body's heavy and my mind is flipping between I want to do absolutely nothing and I need to do absolutely everything. And that's why it's like sometimes I do preferably, if I have to choose between the two, I do pick my anxiety to act out of sometimes, because at least with my anxiety, I'm accomplishing something. So yeah, sometimes I'll just naturally pick that and just try to get so much done because at least I'm happy with what I'm doing. Especially when I feel like I can't control the state of being I'm in. A lot of this depression and anxiety, I know where it comes from, and I'm just not all the way healed yet. And like, of course, there's like, even besides healing and trauma, there is just daily things that induce depressive thoughts, anxiety thoughts, you know, things that release a similar chemicals. So it's like on top of, you know, trauma, when you're going about your day and having things on top of it, you know, it can be a lot to handle. But sometimes like just me using my anxiety and depression to my advantage and knowing how it works and knowing when it will capture me has helped a lot. So, you know, I will sit and I'll be so depressed I can't move and I'll have anxiety, so I'll flip through my phone because my brain needs to be satisfied. Like my anxiety needs to be satisfied. So I do that, and then I end up being tired again because it's exhausting to, you know, be like that. So I've been trying to practice, especially during this time, getting up. And once I get up, no matter how tired I am, I will not sit down. And I noticed that, like, you know, some people in my life are like, you don't even sit down when you eat. Like, you don't sit down. I don't, because it just depends on the phase of my life, to be honest. Because there are times I do not struggle with this, or I struggle with it less, where I can just sit, or I can lay down and I can take naps and I can get up and go about my day. But especially during like, you know, the colder times, like I still have yet to learn completely what seasonal change does, and I know that like quite a few people have it, of course, but I definitely know people who don't have it at all, so it's definitely not just like normal, because like it feels invalidating sometimes. Like some people will be like, because I'll say I have like seasonal disorder and people will be like, oh yeah, me too, everyone has it. Not necessarily. Some people it doesn't hit them until winter. Some people it hits them during the summer. It really doesn't. It depends on the season, how it affects you, and it does definitely affect your personal life, like what your stressors are and everything during those times, because maybe there's patterns, I don't know. But for me, it's definitely like, I mean, it's sunny out. It is super sunny out. It is just the degrees have dropped. Literally the day that it dropped, I've been feeling like this since then. And then when people are like, oh, like everyone has that, that's normal. Yes and no. It's just like, you shouldn't, you know, say that to someone that's actually, because there's people that actually deal with that on a level, and it's a spectrum definitely. So when you kind of act like it's normal and it's no big deal, it kind of puts someone in a position like me where I'm like, oh yeah, everyone has this, like I should be doing something, like everyone does it and gets up every day. It's just not that simple. Some people are really affected a lot heavier by temperature change than others, and for me right now, I literally went from like vibrant summer high energy to a very, very tired, very unmotivated. It takes some time to adjust to. I think that some of my personal life has to do with some of my extreme tiredness and other things too, but yeah, so I know every year I actually fear this time. Every year, even though I love fall, I love Halloween, like I am hyped. I am just as hyped. I just dread this time because I know how it makes my body feel, and I know how I don't feel like the self that I appreciate the most, I guess. So I'm learning to appreciate taking things slower and being more mindful. And fall for me spiritually is very much a big time of letting go. I do believe in like the different seasons being ripe for certain things, spiritually, emotionally. I mean, there's certain crops you can't even grow unless it's the right time. So I definitely believe it's like a time of like very emotional time of like letting go and releasing things that are not for you, and releasing patterns and bringing things to light that you don't want to take with you into the winter, because winter is kind of a time of like peace and family and connection and being inwards and things. A lot of shedding for me emotionally right now, so I am very drained from that. It just puts me in a very depressive state where it is hard for me to move. I am someone who likes to figure things out. I like to find solutions. I know I have an idea of how I want to be, and I have to kind of like merge that with reality and where I'm at, so I can kind of become that easier. So expecting so much out of myself or expecting myself to ignore this is not very helpful. So don't ignore it if you feel like this. Just make a simple plan and just really take care of yourself. Right now it's like I have no energy for anything else. Like I have to give it all to myself. And anytime I have like given it outward where I'm not getting it back, it just puts me in a rut. It puts me in a hole. So like during this time, if you're experiencing something similar to me, like just this devastating feeling of just coldness and depression, I feel like, spring and summer, I'm in my light side. I'm in my best light. And then like fall and winter is like my dark months, like my dark side. But there's so much is being cultivated during that time. So I just think I have to learn how to appreciate it more and learn how to work with it and love myself through it. I think that's what I'm having a problem with. I think I'm having a hard time feeling like I deserve to, you know, still be loved and I'm still worthy through some of these feelings and being depressed and not really getting a lot done or being my like shiny outward self, you know? It's like I'm not like that all the time, and I think sometimes I push myself to be that all the time. I'm not talking through it because this is definitely helping. I'm definitely going to, it's about simplifying. I feel like fall is about simplifying, you know? It's like fall is simplifying, the nature is simplifying and gathering and cleaning out and, you know, setting up for being still and being comfortable while you're still through the winter months. So I think that this is a time of really like doing a thorough deep cleanse of self and really like loving yourself through those tough emotions and, you know, standing for what you don't believe in, like standing by yourself when there's things that you want to be changed and you don't believe in, and being confident in what you would like to let go, and, you know, just being there for yourself, giving yourself a lot of support, because that's like what I'm practicing right now. And it can be hard. It's not easy. That's literally why I'm on here. It's because it's not easy. And I'm honestly telling you guys this stuff, I am like giving myself advice. I almost feel like when I talk to this, like I'm almost like, you know how you give someone else advice and you can give them the best advice? I feel like when I'm talking like this, I feel like I'm giving someone else advice, and I am, because I'm going to give it to you guys, but I'm really giving myself advice and helping guide myself through it, because I used to be so ashamed of this, but I'm growing into not being ashamed. I do need to be walked through things. I do need to be talked through things, reassured. I do need like kind of sometimes step by step, especially when I'm having difficulty. I need a lot of support, and I need a lot of like verbal guidance and narratives. I have to narrate a lot of myself, like what I do throughout my day to myself, just to keep myself focused, and keep intrusive thoughts from taking over. I definitely do talk myself through things and support myself. And I used to always think that was crazy and weird, but honestly, it's one of my best tools, is like just talking myself through things. I just wanted to talk about this because it is really, really hard. Like, it's really hard when there's no physical obstacle in front of you and you are having the hardest time of your life and you can't see it. And that's something that has been the topic of my whole life, and I will get into that with like my childhood stories and stuff. But when something is harming you or destructive or negative and it's in front of you and you cannot see it, and you just have to like hope that when you say how you feel or whatever you're doing is going to help change that, you just have to trust that maybe it'll work. It takes so much trial and error with like the mind that, you know, it can be very frustrating and difficult to find the correct medicine for yourself, like, and the correct technique and routine for yourself to, you know, negate certain negative behaviors and patterns and, you know, behaviors out of trauma and triggers and just other forms of like mental abuse, and like, you know, it can be really difficult to navigate through that when you can't see it and you don't know what to do. It's very difficult. And I really empathize with anyone that goes through this, because when everyone's like, you know, sometimes you tell certain people and they're like, you're fine, you look fine, like, why, what's your problem? Like, it's not that, you know, and it's like, it really is though, because like the mind is more vast. It's so small in our body, like you can hold it with two hands, but you cannot hold the things that go on in your mind, you can never hold with two hands. So that's just how vast the mind can be, and it's difficult to work with and tame sometimes. It's that's why they say take control of your mind, take control of everything. It's like, you know, and I have an easy time doing that when I'm enjoying myself and when life is how I prefer it. But when life is not how you prefer it, the mind can be very scary and harmful. So that's why I'm just taking baby steps. I'm giving myself a lot of support. As much as I am very ambitious and I'm working on a lot of my projects, I'm not going to stop. I am trying to take care of things that it's like whatever is most urgent in the front of my mind, that is what I need to do. And like right now I have no more pants. I have to go do my laundry. I've let it sit for too long, and like every time I've went to go, you know, I was supposed to do it, it just got messed up. So definitely doing things that are necessary first. And yesterday I did a lot of filming because that was just something that was eating me alive. I'm like, I haven't filmed or done anything in like over a month, and because my last video I posted was like my favorite, and not that, I mean, I'm still small on my channel, but it didn't do necessarily well, and that could be really it could be defeating sometimes as a YouTuber or like an aspiring YouTuber or creator to create something that you like love and it not really like do much. But I still support myself, I still love it. I think I just hit a wall and I was overwhelmed and I was burnt out, and a lot of emotional things were coming up for me around that time and kind of lasting up until now, which was like the whole period of Mercury retrograde. Hold on. So yeah, I was pretty much talking about how taking those darkest feelings and not being ashamed that you have them, because to be honest, they don't just come from nowhere. I just got this book I'm excited to read. It's called The Body Keeps Count. And when things happen to you in your life, I don't care. People are like, oh, it's in the past, let it go. Sometimes it's not there yet. Sometimes, you know, there's so much to be let go of, and there always will be in your life. Like, as you're letting go, there's new things coming to your life that you will eventually have to let go. Like, it never stops. So, you know, don't ever feel like you have to forget or just let it go because it already happened. Oh, you're not there anymore. Be here now. Yes, that is the goal. I am here now a lot of the time, but you know, in order to obtain peace and happiness and not just pretend like nothing's wrong and be here now, when part of you being here now is feeling what is trapped in your body. People have made me feel so ashamed of my negative feelings and my darkness that I hide from myself, and that I'm scared of myself. I'm afraid for anything to happen to where I lose control or I offend someone with my negative opinion, especially if they were the one that did something wrong or crossed a boundary. And I think that just me resisting is also causing me to be depressed, because me resisting myself when there's a reason I have these feelings and they're begging to be, you know, addressed and worked on. It doesn't help when I'm restricting myself in that way because I want to protect other people from me. And in turn, you are treating yourself like a monster or like someone that cannot be exposed, you know? And it's like, I just refuse to do that anymore. And like over the years, I have gotten better with my boundaries and communicating, but I think that while I was working on my boundaries and communicating, I would communicate when I would feel confident about things and I would set my boundaries, but I was practicing very lightly. And in the process, I was working through so many old emotions that I kind of neglected my now emotions, and I didn't know how to handle them when they came up because I was still working on my past emotions. So when things were coming up, I just wasn't, you know, realizing how far I've come and that I wasn't expressing myself the way I needed to. And it's just like, I am not going to be scared of myself anymore. Like, just like in chemistry and science, like a reaction comes from like two variables creating that chemistry, that reaction. me having a reaction to something, it takes something from the outside to add to whatever I am to get a reaction. So it's just like, as much as I have accountability to take in every situation, there's a reason I feel like that. And like, and you know, I feel like you shouldn't feel ashamed or afraid and hide from that part of yourself, because I think that's the part of yourself that's going to set you free. And like, you really cannot be better in that area of yourself until you've accepted it. And for me right now, I'm just accepting that I don't feel like my best right now. I feel very angry. A lot of things are coming up. I think also because I was planning on doing my story for YouTube. Like, I was planning on telling you guys my story. I think just trying to think of how I'm going to do that has been bringing up a lot of stuff for me too. And I'm not even upset, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing. This means that I have more stuff to view and work on. And yeah, it's just like, I think hiding from it makes it worse. And I'm allowed to feel bad, and I'm allowed to get angry, and I'm allowed to be angry about things that happened in the past. And if that makes someone and people not love me, then I guess then they don't love me. It's just, you know, I definitely am not going to go around projecting and being like inconsiderate, but like, you know, I also have to consider myself, and like I have to feel things, and I'm not going to hold that back just because other people are afraid of my emotions, because they refuse to deal with their own and dive deep into their own subconscious with certain things, and they just distract themselves. Like, you know, it's like you either distract yourself from your emotions or you deal with them. And I find myself distracting myself from my emotions when I'm around people that do that, because I can tell that my emotions trigger them because they don't deal with their emotions. And it's like, I can't be there anymore. Like, I have to be emotionally free. Okay, I look so tired and sick, but it's okay. So yeah, I did some yoga and spent some time with. I need to go to the gym. I need to get this stuff clean. I need to donate some of this stuff. While I'm in between like the loads in the gym, after I'm done with my pretty much my course, I bought this like fitness plan course thing where pretty much tells me what workouts to do and guides me through it. So I'm going to do that. And then in between, I'm going to really rip this out, because this is fucking pissing me off. Like, I need this out and to not touch my head. So I'm going to do that while my car's empty. And then I'm going to go vacuum my car. And, yeah, we're going to go to the library first, though. And I'm going to print off everything that I need. Guys, so I literally invested into a printer because I forgot my laptop. And I ended up not going to the library. I put my laundry in, so my car is no longer full of laundry. It's very clean. And then I went to vacuum my car, which I did, and I ripped the ceiling out so it's no longer touching my head. It is so hideous, and I know that, and it's ugly. But this is one step closer to fixing the issue, and it's no longer tickling my head. So I'm happy. And I just got done really just like washing the outside of my car, and now we're gonna go unload our laundry, put it in the dryer, and go do our workout. So let's go.
So this is a middle-aged woman rummaging through my dancer outfits. She took a whole load and took that wet clothes right to her car, straight from the washer, and then she decided to go through my personal clothes and take a couple more items for herself. She just kind of took everything out and threw the clothes she didn't like straight on the dirty floor after I washed them, and took the things that she found suitable for her middle-aged body. So yes, this is how my day ended. Even though I had a great day and I did everything I said I was going to do, this was quite devastating. Thank God, though, there was a lot of very loving people at the laundromat there for me. Thank you guys. Bye.